$2,000 worth of stimulus checks for millions of struggling Americans.
Now, we've had some back and forth on the floor today about how we got to the level of $2,000. We all know how we got to that level. The President of the United States said that's the level he supported.
This was Josh Hawley, who himself introduced, with the approval of President Donald J. Trump, the new American Worker Rebate Act, and under this act, more stimulus money will be given to millions of low and middle income Americans. I'm gonna tell you about it, but at the same time, 8 states sending rebate and stimulus checks in 2025 is yours one after federal administration failed to give anything to millions of these struggling Americans. Now states are saying enough is enough. It's time for us to give relief to millions of our residents who are struggling in this worst inflation. Remember, this is a very important video that includes the details of $600, $1,200 and $2,000 worth of payments for Americans. So make sure you stay with us till the end. And before I start the video, all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So let's start with stimulus checks for low and middle income Americans in 2025, and we have some very important details to share with you, starting with, if you are feeling financially squeezed this year, you're not alone. Economic uncertainty is at all-time high and many of us are looking to catch a break in whatever way we can. Fortunately, several states are rolling out rebates and stimulus checks in an effort to eliminate some money stress for residents. Well, now a number of states, in total 8 states, are saying enough is enough. Now we are going to give relief to our residents because they are struggling and they deserve some sort of relief as soon as possible. Remember, I'm going to give you the details, the amounts, the names of these states, as well as when you can expect these checks in this very important video in just a minute. So make sure you stay with us till the end. But Josh Hawley, with the approval of President Donald J. Trump, recently introduced a legislation which is calling for stimulus tariff rebate checks to millions of Americans. And now a number of senators, lawmakers, analysts and experts are saying to change this $600 tariff rebate stimulus checks amount to $2,000, as same as Josh Hawley once talked during the pandemic. What he said about $2,000 stimulus check that time. Let me show you this entire video, then I'll come back and give you the details of how many states are sending these stimulus checks and how much you can expect.
Why it is so difficult to get a vote on the bills that Senator Sanders has just referenced, when, by my count, the President of the United States, the Speaker of the House, a large majority of the House of Representatives, and I think a super majority of this body are all in favor of $2,000 COVID relief payments to working Americans. Now, we've had some back and forth on the floor today about how we got to the level of $2,000. We all know how we got to that level. The President of the United States said that's the level he supported. The number originates with him. This is the number that he has asked for, and the House adopted it. And a majority of senators have said already publicly that they support it. And yet we can't seem to even get a vote on it. We can't even seem to have debate on it. I mean, with all due respect, this doesn't seem to me to be a Republicans versus Democrats issue. This seems to be the Senate versus the United States of America. And I just don't understand it. And I'm willing to bet that the American people don't understand it either. I mean, here we are in the throes of the worst pandemic in a century that working people have borne the brunt of. And all that we're asking is that those working people be first in line for relief, and that they be given meaningful relief that is only approximately commensurate with the hardships that they and their families have borne. Now, I hear a lot of talk about how we can't afford it. I do notice, however, that we seem to be able to afford all kinds of other stuff We can afford to send lots of money to other governments. We can afford to send all kinds of tax breaks and bailouts to big corporations. We can afford to spend enormous sums of money on pork, hundreds of billions of dollars in that last bill on pork, hundreds of billions. But we can't seem to find the money for relief for working people that the president and the House and the Senate all support. And yet we can't seem to get onto the floor.
And this is where the whole hypocrisy starts. Remember that Josh Hawley spoke about stimulus checks, or you can say spoke in the favor of stimulus checks during the pandemic when President Biden was in charge. And now, even in his own Republican Party, things are changing. He introduced a legislation which is calling for $600 for individuals, $600 for every dependent, and $1,200 for a couple. Though a number of lawmakers as well as a number of analysts and experts are forcing this administration, or especially Josh Hawley, to change this amount to $2,000, just as millions of recipients received during the pandemic. But when it comes to this stimulus check or stimulus rebate payments, even his own party members are saying, no, we are not going to give it. Well, if you want to know what's the truth, then listen to this.
Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill to provide tariff rebates for families who.
We're going to pay down their debt. No, we're going to pay down that $37 trillion debt.
What do you think a Republican then would introduce this
Because you're
measure?
talking about it.
I mean, oh yeah, okay.
That's it. We'll never pass. We have a $37 trillion debt. You know, think about how immoral it is for my generation and older boomers to say to your generation, millennials and Gen Z, hey man, we had a great time in America. Here's trillions of dollars that you guys paid off. We loved it though. We enjoyed all this money that we borrowed on your behalf. It's immoral. I mean, we need to pay down our debt. We need to be serious about paying down our debt.
If this is not hypocrisy, then what's the meaning of it? Well, Bernie Moreno said that no, we have trillions of dollars of debt, we have to pay it down first. Well, you have billions and billions of dollars, sometimes trillions of dollars to give to other nations so they can survive and thrive, or they can wage wars where our own struggling Americans are struggling. What about them? Remember that millions of people are struggling in US right now. Around 5 million seniors receive below poverty level checks, and yet Bernie Moreno is saying that no, since you are talking about it, that's why American people are talking about rebate checks, though we are not going to approve this legislation from Josh Hawley, who introduced it with the approval of the current president, Donald J. Trump. This is the biggest problem. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about it. Now, moving on with this very important update, as 8 states are sending rebate and stimulus checks in 2025, and this is very important. Look at this. California, the golden state, is sending the payments, and this payment is really important because these credits come from profits of the cap and trade program, which sets a cap to total emissions and sells issues emission allowances. Well, when it comes to the amounts, it's somewhere between $250 to $1,600, and you will know when you can apply for this. Then Colorado is the next state which is going to give a rebate of $1,154 a year to millions of homeowners. Then Florida is also giving around $10,000 in contributions or state contributions for the people who need free home inspection. This is not it. Let's see the state of Georgia. Well, they're giving between $250 for single filers and $375 for the heads of household, or $500 for a married couple filing jointly. New Jersey also has a program known as Anchor Program, and you can receive up to $1,500 under this program. Then New York, of course, as you already know, that millions of Americans are going to get up to $400 worth of inflation relief checks. This is amazing from Katie Hochul. While at the same time, Pennsylvania is giving around $1,000 in property tax rent rebate program, and Virginia is also giving around $200 to $400, $200 for individual and $400 for couple, as the returning surplus funds because their budget is in surplus. Well, this is important. A number of Americans are struggling right now and they need some sort of support. It seems like the American Worker Rebate Act has no use because even the Republicans like Bernie Moreno are against it, and they're saying that we need to pay down the debt first. But what about American people? they can rot wherever they want, but now they have to pay down the debt first. Well, this is very shocking. And right here, I would like to ask you, because a number of lawmakers, senators, as well as analysts and experts are pushing this administration to give a $2,000 worth of stimulus check to millions of Americans. And if you support this, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks. Again, if you support it, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.